Hey, it's Clay at claytrader.com. This will be a live trade video where I try to capture some of my trades as they play out live. Real quick, a couple of clarifications. Number one, I am trading futures. If you don't know what futures are, I'll put a link down below in the description area to a totally free 4-part series that'll walk through the futures market and how it all works. One little thing that maybe gets you interested, there is 0 pattern day trader rule in futures. So you can make as many day trades as you want every single day. And there's a lot of other cool things that are going on in the futures market, but that's one that I think pertains to a lot of people. They get stuck under that very annoying pattern day trader rule. Second, I am trading futures through a prop firm. What is a prop firm? How does a prop firm work? Which prop firm am I using? You can learn all about that at the link that you see at the top of the screen. I'll also put it down in the description area. But in a nutshell, a prop firm is a way for you to have very little of your own money at risk, and then you have a whole lot of upside potential. So if you want to learn more about that, like I said, check out the link. So I will pause the screen recording software for now, and I'll be back as soon as I find a potential trade. All right, market is open. Got to break through that yellow line now. Let's see if we can capture some momentum up through there. In. And out there. Nice $720 scalp. The futures are pretty nice, pretty cool. The gains can certainly add up relatively quickly. I'm going to switch over here, different contract type, just because I want to try to protect some of the gains here. So if I'm right, I'm not going to make as much on these next trades, but more importantly, if I'm wrong, I'm not going to lose as much. So just trying to do some smart risk management here. Again, if I'm right, I'll be all upset, like, why did I change these contracts? But I assure you, if I'm wrong, I'll be very grateful that I changed these contracts. So we're looking at the same chart, but the cool thing about futures is just doing it with different types of contracts, and these types of contracts are just going to be less volatile in terms of the, the P&L. And plus with these, I can give myself a little bit more flexibility. All right, out on that one for 67. So had I been doing the other contracts, that would have been $670, because these contracts are 10 times less. So I'll say that again. Had I stuck with the other contracts, that gain would have been 670. So yes, in hindsight now, I'm like, oh, why did I do that? But that's always hindsight for you, right? Not going to be buying anymore up here. If this thing wants to pull back, then might be interested. And just, I know some of you sometimes wonder, hey, Clay, I know you have a private community. How does that work? Well, you can see this morning on it right here. That's a trend line I was talking about. I was just making a note about how I was trying for the breakout. And you can see actually the price had been slightly above the yellow line at the moment I took that screenshot. But the whole point was I was watching that trend line looking for a breakout. The breakout did happen. You just watched me play the breakout. Now, did all members in the chat room do the exact same? No, everybody thinks for themselves, but I'm sure I wasn't alone in people noticing that, playing the break. I mean, I hope other people played the breakout with me because, yes, as you've seen, that has been a very solid breakout. But that is how the chat room works in terms of just kind of what you can expect, just getting kind of heads up on, what I'm seeing and stuff like that. So, all right, I will pause the screen recording software and I'll be back if I find another trade. All right, gonna probably try one more here, and if it doesn't work out, I'll be happy with the day, but gonna try a bit of a short. I am now short. A couple of cover orders down there. Let's see if this thing wants to come down at all. I'm short. And this might be, not necessarily I'm looking for a huge crash or anything like that, but Come on, come down. That's my first target. There we go. Got that target. Okay, I'm going to put my stop loss now in basically at break even. So worst case, this is essentially a break even trade, but if it wants to come down some more, then it'll be a bigger trade. But worst case, all right. So it turned out to basically be, well, I think I was at 67. So what's the math on that? About a $13 trade. I might try again now. Entering right there. This thing does seem like it might want to come down. So yeah, let's try again. And I'll look to fill the red line. Now, if it comes up through the white line, I'll cancel this order out and the trade plan will be invalidated. Again, if the price comes up here through the white line, then never mind. Well, let's see if it does want to come back down. Okay, in. Took one out there. Could still be a losing trade. It'll be a little less, though, because at least I was able to reduce position size and then put some profit in my pocket. Let's see if we can another push down. There we go. Took off another one. So let's once again make this basically a break-even trade at worst. Not break-even. It'll be a winner, but put another one down there if it really wants to come down. Stop down a little bit. Oh, it stopped out there. Okay, well, like I said, I'm making money on these, but can't quite get it where it wants to just completely let loose to the downside. But overall, still making some money on those ones. Not as much as I had hoped for, but I was still positioned to, like I said, had I gotten the move in my favor in more of a bigger way, then I was positioned to do well on it. And really, as traders, that's our job, to just have ourselves at least positioned where if you do get the bigger move, you can capitalize on it. Obviously, you saw those two trades. I was positioned. I just didn't get the bigger move. So they turned out to be modest trades. But you can't always, time it up perfectly and get the huge move every time. But it's all about, are you at least positioning yourself to take advantage of it if it does happen? And I was able to do that. But overall, I'm happy with the results. Before I go, though, I do want to personally invite you to get signed up for this free live online webinar that I'm offering. So if you are a new trader, struggling trader, I guess if you're a battle-hardened veteran, maybe you could get something from the class, but my confidence level isn't as high. But yes, if you are a new or a struggling trader, I'm confident you'll get at least something from this class. So check out the link down in the description area, or just go to claytrader.com/live to learn when the next live class is. But definitely sign up for it. I know it's helped many people. And I'm confident, like I said, if you're in one of those newer struggling categories, it'll give you some good quality things to think on and potentially want to take that next step to getting things figured out within your trading. So thanks as always for watching. I am live streaming, so if you want, come check out the live stream. I start every day, Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern, and usually I go for a few hours. So make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so that you can be reminded of when I do indeed go live. But would love to see you on the live stream, so swing by and say hello. So thanks for watching. Take care and get signed up for that free class.